Hi, everyone, and welcome back to MMA Talking Heads, the MMA video magazine discussion show where we talk about all things relevant to mixed martial arts. I'm Jason Probst, and with me is my co-host, the lovely and talented Loretta Hunt. How are you doing today, Loretta?
Jason, hi. First of all, I like the description of our show now.
Right.
Video magazine. I like that.
Right. It's
All encompassing.
right. Like next week, it'll be a video blog. After that, it'll be like spoken word.
But it
So
but it's been way too long for MMA Talking Heads, and what a great topic to bring up this
right.
UFC on Fox
Right.
daily deal.
Like, I mean, like we say to our fans, we try and save the shows for relevant and newsworthy things. And big news this week with the press conference in LA. You were there with UFC announcing the 7-year deal with Fox. Give us the particulars on this so we can understand the scope and what does this mean for mixed martial arts and the whole enchilada.
Yeah, so obviously I think people by now know the nuts and bolts of the deal, and it's a pretty comprehensive deal. The four big events on Fox itself. So that would be the equivalent of what Strikeforce and Elite XC tried to do on CBS. Then we've got 32 fights. That includes 2 seasons of The Ultimate Fighter, and then also included in that 32 are 6 fight night events where there'll be multiple fights. So they're saying 32 nights of 32 weekends, and they said it'll be on Friday nights. There'll be fights, live fights on Spike. Ultimate Fighter totally revamped. They're going to shoot it almost in real time. During the week, they'll shoot it, they'll edit it, at a blistering speed, all culminating with a live fight that night. That's pretty incredible. And then on top of that, they're putting in this American Idol, vote for
Right.
the fights you want to see the next
Right.
week type element, which I think people are really going to like because
Like,
everyone wants to play matchmaker, right?
right, like
Everyone wants to play Joe
everyone,
Silva.
everyone just fights Junie Browning every week, something like that. We know, and that was really an interesting thing because that's one of the things we've talked about both on the show and just in our regular conversations with each other is the need for the reality show to kind of get a revamp, because it was getting a little stale. I mean, that
Oh, for
really gives
sure.
I think it gives it a real kickstart with the whole change in, picking the fights and just kind of refreshes it a little bit.
Yeah, no, I love it. It refreshes it a lot. Not only, they didn't change one little element, they're going to change a major part of it. Having to shoot and edit by the seat of their pants and doing a live fight every week, I mean, it's going to be very, very difficult, much more difficult than the way they used to do it.
Yeah.
Shooting it for 3 months in a row, they had 3 months to edit it. So
Right.
this is going to be major. It's really going to make it a lot fresher, obviously. But, I think it's going to make it, the fans are going to get a lot more involved in it. And obviously, with that vote in element to it now, that component, I think fans are gonna like it. I think the old fans are gonna come back that probably gave it up, and it's gonna gain some new fans as well. So, I mean, good job for them coming out. I wanted to segue to like what I saw at the press conference yesterday that I couldn't put in my writing, which is
Right.
why you and I like to do this talking heads thing, was just this incredible feeling that I got when I walked into Fox Studios. First of all, Fox, totally professional, walked us in, we had bagels and fruit and coffee and juices
Nice.
waiting for us. I mean, the nicest spread possible for
And that's,
breakfast.
really, that's what the press just wants. Just give us something to eat, man.
Well, I know some of the press,
You
are
know?
really into that. But all the suits were there, all the way from David Hill, who's obviously this top honcho at Fox, down to executives they had in the seats sitting with us. Jay Glazer, Kevin James was there. And I went up and spoke to him a little bit. He was really excited about the deal. So there were like some interesting people in the crowd. But just the way the deal rolled out and just how much information and how developed the deal was, it was so transparent yesterday. We just kept asking questions and they kept giving us more information. I almost fell out of my seat when Ariel Hawani asked, can you tell us how long this multi-year deal is? We're so used to them saying, oh, we don't want to say that
Right.
because it's all full of options and extensions and all that, but very quickly Dana said, no, 7 years,
Yeah.
and both of them seemed just so proud of what they were presenting. It was so fleshed out. I didn't hear these buzzwords that I always hear with these MMA deals on TV. Options, we'll start with the first show. If it gets good ratings,
Right.
we have the option to do 3 more shows that year. None of that. It was, this is the first show. We're doing 4 this year, full steam ahead. I didn't hear when ratings came up, they said, they said the usual. We don't really, have expectations. I'm sure they do, and I'm sure they'll get into that. But they were pretty honest about it. They said this deal just came together, and it wasn't like everything. It's based on the ratings. We'll option it for another show. I never once heard the word extension, which is something I hear at
Right.
these types of dealings when things are rolled out. And the rollout itself was super impressive. They had a video ready to show us how the Ultimate Fighter is going to look different. They had the whole vote-in component already done. So,
Wow.
they flashed up 2 guys' faces and it said, call this number to vote for this matchup this week, So they really fleshed it out for us very quickly and fairly easy. And they just seemed really excited. Like they really wanted to do this. And I don't mean this as an insult to any of the other people that have come from CBS or any of the other big Spike TV or any of the bigger networks that have taken on TV broadcast deals with MMA, but you always got this sense that it was kind of, they were tiptoeing through it. We're going to
Sure.
give it a try. These guys were so gung ho. I talked to David Hill afterwards, and he was the salesman, he was the barker, but he was 100% committed.
Yeah.
And he told me, this is like, I feel like I'm getting basketball or baseball 10 years after it's been introduced.
Yeah.
It's had a little time to develop. Now I'm really going to take it to the next level. And he goes, in all my years of doing sports, and he goes, and there's been a lot of them, he goes, I've never had such a unique opportunity as this.
Well, and that's really
And
the interesting the synergy of it, is because we've waited for this. This has been a moment we've been waiting for, for the past 3 or 4 years. I mean, MMA, after the 2005 explosion of the reality show, saw that it could have a viable hold in the sporting consciousness. And there's always been all these fits and starts. There was kind of HBO rumors in 2007, Elite XC on CBS and Strikeforce and Showtime. But Fox as a major network is a huge bump. How much do you think this will increase, basically the UFC's foothold on MMA? Does it pretty much lock anybody out from being able to remotely compete with them for the next couple years?
on the surface, I just have to say yes. I mean, I probably would have said yes before this. They have such a head start
Yeah.
to everyone else. And, Strikeforce was the only one that I saw in the US that really seemed like, in a few years with a lot of right moves, more money,
Right.
a few stars moving over from the UFC
A
to
lot of
them.
if-then statements.
Yeah,
A lot of
and it
if-thens.
would have taken a few years, but they
Yeah.
were kind of on the right track. They were making mistakes, but the UFC made mistakes too when they
Sure.
first started. I watched them, a lot of trial and error with them too. They're just a lot better at hiding that, and there's a lot more press now that kind of picks up on those nuances. But no, right now, God, there's nobody. This is it, and the positive of that is, we've got this huge sweeping deal across all these networks. It's going to be on Fox. Fox is number 1 right now. It's rubbing elbows. UFC will be
Right.
rubbing elbows with NFL, with NASCAR. I
All
mean, these
kinds
are
of
like
crossover.
legit sports franchises. And we definitely do have the best representatives that we have in this sport. The UFC, in terms of promotion, they run the best show, and they're the ones that are getting this platform. So it's definitely going to put our best foot forward.
Excellent. No, this is a great wrap up. Once again, Loretta Hunt, SI contributor, longtime MMA pioneer. And also, I was proud to say I got my advanced copy of Loretta's book, Let's Get It On, with Big John McCarthy. What's the release date on this masterpiece, Loretta?
That bad boy, it's hits the bookstore September 1st, although I'll let you in on a little secret. It is
Yeah?
available now on Amazon.
Nice, nice. I hear the interwebs are taking off. The internet's
I,
pretty popular.
yeah, I think it's going to stay around the
Yeah.
interweb and all that. Yeah,
No, but listen, no, we definitely want to get back more and definitely do a full in-depth dive in the book. We wanted to bring this to you fans, the news of the big UFC Fox deal. So thanks so much to Loretta Hunt for joining me. I'm Jason Probst. This is the latest episode of MMA Talking Heads, and you can find us at Twitter at MMA Talking Heads and at Facebook, and we will see you next time around. Take care.
see you soon.